We are diving straight into our NFL DFS picks, and we are building around clear ceilings, favorable overall matchups, and salary-based value. We start at quarterback with Josh Allen at 7,500. We are paying for the slate's top ceiling here. Dash rank 100, 25 fantasy points per game, and a strong projection at 22. He faces Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 27. The recent scoring line of 10, 48, and 24 tells the story of volatility with elite upside. We embrace that in tournaments. Per Essentially Sports and multiple weekend reports, Allen just had his number 17 retired at Wyoming and addressed a sold-out crowd, which does not drive projections but confirms the confidence and leadership profile we expect. And for context, the Texans' game in which he was sacked 8 times came against a number 1 ranked defense per recent coverage. This spot is materially softer on paper, which is why we like paying for his ceiling. For value at quarterback, we like Tyler Show at 4,400. He projects for 11 with recent scores of 10, 19, and 10, and faces Miami, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 23. The projection is less reliable given the sample, but per reports the Saints named Show QB1 after a rough start under Spencer Rattler, and national outlets noted he is one of the rookies adjusting quickly. At this price, we are buying the rushing and scramble path to value and the cheap stacking options we will get to at tight end. At running back, we are prioritizing Bijan Robinson at 8,500, dash rank 100, 22 fantasy points per game, projection at 18, and a great overall matchup versus the Jets, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 24. Recent scores of 15, 33, and 11 show both a defined ceiling and weekly role. He fits both cash and tournaments, and he has been a recurring buy recommendation in national fantasy pieces over the past few weeks, signaling confidence in sustained usage. For salary relief, we like Tyler Allgeier at 4,500 in the same soft overall matchup against the Jets, who have one of the worst defenses overall. He has put up 6, 10, and 18 in his last 3. We treat him as leverage off Bijan in large field tournaments or as a value one-off in builds that spend up elsewhere. The price allows him to pay off on modest volume in a plus-game environment. At wide receiver, we are targeting Keon Coleman at 3,500. He draws Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 27, and projects for 10 with recent scores of 0, 0, and 14. We like the stack leverage with Josh Allen at a low salary, particularly because the matchup boosts the offense as a whole. The role is volatile, and that is reflected in the last 2 zeros. But per recent coverage, he has been the subject of criticism and even benching talk. That creates a buy-the-dip DFS spot in a favorable overall matchup with direct correlation to our top QB. At tight end, we like Juwan Johnson at 4,200. He projects for 7 and has logged 11, 19, and 12 in his last 3, drawing Miami, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 23. He fits perfectly with Tyler Show stacks as a cost-controlled, concentrated red zone option. Recent reporting around the Saints' new direction under Kellen Moore has included Johnson's name, and features highlighting his undrafted climb underscore the trust he has earned in key situations. That matches what we want from a mid-range tight end in DFS. For a pure punt at tight end, Foster Moreau at 2,500 is viable in the same game. Projection 4 with recent scores of 0, 4, and 0. This is a tournament-only salary unlock that correlates with Show and lets us jam multiple studs. The floor is fragile, but the overall matchup is soft. In the flex, we are prioritizing Devon Achane at 8,300. Dash rank 98, 22 fantasy points per game, 17-point projection, and recent scores of 25, 44, and 17. He faces New Orleans, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 18. We are betting on explosive efficiency and multi-touchdown upside. Per deadline reporting, teams showed real trade interest in Kane, which the Dolphins resisted. That and his recent comments about the organization signal continued feature usage in high-leverage spots. For a value flex, we will monitor Dalton Kincaid at 4,500. He projects for 9 and faces Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 27. However, per multiple injury updates, he has been dealing with a hamstring and was set to miss time. If he is inactive, we pivot to Keon Coleman in this price range, or drop to Tyler Allgeier for safety. If he is active, he becomes a strong correlation piece in Josh Allen stacks given the favorable overall matchup. On defense, we like the Chargers at 4,000, with a dash rank of 100 and a 7-point projection against Las Vegas, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 31. We are targeting pressure-driven upside and short fields in a game environment that can tilt to sacks and turnovers. For a value defense, we like the Titans at 2,200 against Jacksonville, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 21. Recent defensive scores of 6, 5, and 20 show a live path to paying off at near-min salary, and this opens the salary needed for premium stacks. Our core build starts with Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson, and either a chain or Juwan Johnson, depending on how we distribute salary, with Keon Coleman as a leverage stack. For value builds or tournaments that need differentiation, we rotate to Tyler Show with Juwan Johnson and consider Foster Moreau as a punt, then use the savings to spend up at running back and defense. We are prioritizing players in favorable overall matchups and leaning into ceiling plus correlation.